Hey, my name is Meg, welcome back to my channel. So I thought I'd just do a quick little video today on balancing. A lot of people think that balancing is sort of the epitome of being a yogi, and that's absolutely not true. But as we sort of end 2018 and get into 2019, perhaps there are some goals for people to kind of get more comfortable being upside down. And so hopefully I can give you some tips or some tricks of how to kind of go through those progressions successfully in order to try getting upside down and getting that blood flow into the head and feeling all of those amazing feelings of being upside down, because it really is awesome. So typically sort of a headstand is one of the easier ways to get used to being upside down. You can either do it in the traditional yoga way where you are sort of wrapping your head, or in a tripod position, and I sort of think that the tripod is the easier one. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Feel free to kind of pause at any point in this video, and hopefully some of the ideas help you out in order to get upside down. Okay, so basically we're the most balanced when all of our joints are in line with each other. So when our wrists are over our shoulders, or over our hips, or over our knees, or over our ankles, etc. And basically, in any sort of arm balance, you're kind of trying to find the variation at least of that. So definitely stacking our joints is something that is said a lot, but what does that mean? Really just like literally lining them up. Anyway, I'm going to start with the tripod headstand. So one way that you could start, there are different ways that you can get in there, but basically you want to make sure that your wrists are in line with your shoulders here. So I'm just kind of going to start in almost like a tabletop position. I'm just going to move back a little bit. From there, you're bending your elbows at 90 degrees and you're bringing your head towards the wrist. So from here I'll kind of turn sideways. So you're kind of looking like this. Now we want to make sure that our arms are not loose, that you're almost pulling them together, kind of like they're being magnetized. And then I'm going to lift my bottom into the air. You'll notice here that my hands and my head are in a triangle or tripod sort of position. And I'm right up on my tiptoes here. I'm really pressing into the floor because the weight needs to be balanced between my head and my hands. So my head is about 50% and then the rest is sort of balanced between my hands. Maybe even less than that. Alright, so I'm going to walk my toes towards my hands, aiming to get my hips towards being over top of my shoulders. From here you can start by just putting your knee onto your tricep, and perhaps you test it and bring up your other foot. Here I'm really engaging my core, so I'm pulling my belly button towards my spine, and just hanging out. Again, there's a lot of pressure underneath my hands. Try and keep it off my head and keep me balanced. And my elbows are basically magnetized. You can try that going up against the wall. I don't really need this, but going up against the wall. And that way I can kind of face you here. So again, you can kind of see I'm walking up. It's the same idea, but now my hips are just pressing into the wall. You can notice that I'm really pulling my elbows together. And you can hang up here. From here, to kind of feeling comfortable with that, you're really pulling in your belly. You can work on perhaps stretching up a leg, or maybe both. And again, just pushing into the floor. Noticing that my ankles are over my knees, or over my hips, or over my shoulders, and then that my elbows are over my wrists. My fingers are spread, again, all that pressure. And then as you get comfortable here, you can kind of try, perhaps kicking it. And this kind of goes for any balance. So this would also apply to a handstand if you eventually want to go there. Just getting comfortable with the wall and then practicing kicking up one leg at a time. And then perhaps once you are starting to feel really strong, really using your lower belly muscles and kind of pushing to that floor and bringing both legs up together. Perhaps taking feet away from the wall, your bottom away from the wall, really engaging the muscles in your bottom, in your legs, in your toes, and kind of come on down there. Do the same thing away from the wall, of course. So again, one at a time, perhaps one at a time. Maybe you just hang out here for a while. Really thinking that you're kind of pressing those toes into the ceiling above you, that you're finding that alignment, ankles over your knees, all of that. Engaging your bottom, your core, pulling your belly button in. And the progression after that might be into the traditional headstand. I'll do this one facing you. Is it's really important to wrap your arms in, not splay your elbows out. But as you get comfortable here, practicing kicking up. Noticing just the length and the energy right from my elbows through to the top of your toes. This one has a little bit less pressure on your head, but it's really important that you equally balance your body between your forearms. There you go. I hope that helps a little bit to start off with. Take your time. Practice makes perfect. You can't expect to do it, in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. But really engaging your core and trying to make sure all of the pressure that you're putting into the floor is really equal between your fingers, through your palms, and then obviously through your head. Trying to make sure you're not at the front of your head. Really sort of find that soft spot on the top. And yeah, I hope that helps. Going up into, forearm stand is really a similar idea. It's a little bit harder to have your hips over your head here, but it's a similar idea. And then handstand is exactly the same. I know one thing I noticed doing handstands is that my arms kind of splay out. I sort of learned it in my body when I was young. Not maybe exactly correct, but because I was little I was able to do it. So I'm kind of reteaching myself of how to really pull in my arms and really get energy from the floor and find that lift. But it's the exact same idea. And using the wall is a really great option. You can even practice crawling up the wall. Backwards. All right. Peace out. Thanks for watching.